You've had a chance now to reflect on England's World Cup campaign. The dust has now settled. In your opinion, what went wrong?
We didn't win our games. Simple as that. I think that everything was set up right. The preparation was right from the manager. Everything that he did and obviously the staff did was right for us. Everything behind the scenes was perfect. Our camp was amazing. To be able to train where we were and stay where we were doesn't get much better than that. But I think the lads would admit that I think a few of them have already that they just didn't play well enough in the games, and when you do that at that level, you accept that you don't go as far as a lot of people hope you do. But,
they're to blame then, are they, the players, not the manager?
Of course, the players. If you ask them yourself, that they will turn around and say, the manager can only do so much. But when the players step on the field, it's down to the players to perform. And speaking to the lads and knowing the lads as well as I do, they know that that they didn't play and perform well enough. But they're strong enough. And also people need to realise, because I've heard over the last few days that maybe the players don't care as much, and things like that. That's one thing that everyone is wrong, or people that say it are wrong about. These players in this team care about playing for their country, and they don't go on a field thinking, where they're going to go on their holidays or what car they're going to buy. They care about playing, they care about winning. If
they're more to blame than the manager, should there now be an overhaul then of this side? Is it time to make big changes and introduce good young fresh talent in time they can mature for the next World Cup?
No, because I think that we have got other players and good young players coming through, but I also think that's down to the manager. The manager will decide who he thinks should be playing, and he decided on who should be playing in this World Cup. So he believes that these are the best players that should be playing for England. Whether he brings other young players through, and there's other players, like I said, there are good young players and good talented players coming through in our country.
Are there that many good young players coming through?
Yeah, I believe there are 4 or 5, maybe more players that could come into the England team and get given a chance. But I'm not manager and I never will be, so there's something that that's the manager's decision, and he's experienced enough. He's been around football and he's been around great teams and players for many years, for his whole career, so he knows what's best.
He should have kept his job then. That was the right decision by the FA.
Without a doubt. There's no reason why. Everyone was happy before when they won 9 games out of, or didn't lose for 9 games, and there's no reason for anyone to think anything else of the manager.
You were close to the action, you saw what went on. Did he make any mistakes? Were there things that could have been better in the camp? Was it too strict, for example? Were players too bored?
No, because I think that Fabio Capello has always been very strict with his players, with his teams, all the way through his career. When I've spoke to players that have played with him 10 years ago and said that he was the same then. So he's very strict. The players know what he demands, and this time he was more relaxed. Going into the 3rd game, and the atmosphere was more relaxed. He changed a number of things, and that was because he knew that things had to be a lot more relaxed around the players.
So he agreed to what John Terry had asked for then. I mean, what was your view on what Terry did? You're your former captain, just like he is. Was he out of order, saying what he did that day?
I don't. I'm not going to sit here and discuss what I think was right and what was wrong with the England team. At the end of the day, we didn't perform. Simple as that, and that's why we didn't go any further in the competition. Individuals. It's not about individuals. It's about a team. It's about what the team does, and. I said it just before, you win together, you lose together. It's hard when you lose, it's great when you win, but it's harder when you lose.
You've played in Spain, we've just seen Spain lift the World Cup. Why are they so much better than England right now?
I think they're obviously the best team in the world because they play football, they don't change the way they play, they play together as a team. This is not me comparing the Spanish team against the English team. This is me comparing the Spanish team against every team in the world, every country in the world. They play the best football.
But they're technically more gifted, aren't they, than the average England player? I mean, you're a gifted England player, but not every you can't say that most of our players are technically gifted. They work hard, they're fast, but the Spanish have skillful, technically gifted players. There's something more fundamental that the way they develop their young players.
I think players all around the world are different from other players in different countries. You know, you can say in Spain players are more technically gifted. You could say in Brazil it's the same.
Because the coaching,
everybody, yeah, maybe you know, they're brought up. You know, in Brazil they're brought up on playing on the beach, and you know, your touch has to be good on the beach. So it's you know, it's different in so many different countries. But what I will say is that everyone saw why Spain won the World Cup, because of the way they played. And they have got some unbelievably gifted players.
Can we learn from them then, do you think, in that sense, the way we coach our young players? Perhaps also the amount of foreign players in the Premier League. I mean, the under-17s just won the European Championships, are our players, so there's clearly good talent there, but they'll go back to their clubs now and struggle to get first-team opportunities. Is that a problem for the average young English player, do you think, in the Premier League right now?
I think it's always been tough to get into first teams. You know, even when I was at Manchester United, you had to work to get into the first team. You have to work. You have to be of a certain standard to play in the Premiership, and that's never changed. You know, there might be more foreign players playing in the league, playing in Premiership teams, more now than there were 10, 15 years ago. But that doesn't change the fact that you have to be of a certain standard to play in a Premiership team. That's never going to change.
What about your future now, David? In terms of England and in terms of the LA Galaxy, what does the future hold?
I've got, obviously I have to get myself fit first. Once I'm fit, then I have this season plus one more in LA. I'm looking forward to going back to LA. You know, it's our home now as a family. Kids go to school there, very happy there. I'm looking forward to getting back with the Galaxy players and you know, getting myself fit and get playing again, because I'm missing it.
And England? Will you play this season for England, do you expect?
I hope so. I hope so. You know, I'll always be available. I've always said that. You know, I'm not ready to step aside. If I don't get picked again for England, then you know, I'm very proud of my record. You know, 100 starts and 115 games. So I'm very proud of that. But I still believe that I have a part to play.
And could that stretch until the next championships in 2012? Realistically, do you think?
You never know. You know, I take each year, you know, each month, each week as it comes. You know, things might be different in 2-3 months, but you know, we'll have to see. But like I said, I never want to step down from playing for my country.
You've got used to having pressure on you in your career. The man who had so much pressure on him at this World Cup for him, of course, is Wayne Rooney, given the season that he'd had. He seemed to struggle with that scrutiny, with that pressure at times. We saw the outburst towards fans. Obviously, he was disappointed after the Algeria game. Did you speak to him during the World Cup? Did you think he was struggling with that? Was he fully fit? What was wrong with Wayne?
No, you know, I spoke to many of the players through the World Cup, not just obviously Wayne. You know, there was a lot of scrutiny on him, of course, because of the season he'd had for Manchester United and the season and the way he plays for England. So, you know, there was going to be a certain amount of pressure on him. You know, he's a goal scorer, and when he doesn't score, then people look at that. But you know, he showed anger at times because he cares. He cares about winning. He cares about his performance. You know, he cares what people think about how he plays, and that's how passionate he is as a player. He's never going to lose that, because it's what makes him as a player. But you know, us being out of the World Cup is not down to one player. It's about us as a team. Wayne Rooney is still one of the best goal scorers in the world. That's not going to change.
We saw you on the touchline, especially after the defeat against Germany and at half-time, you know, encouraging the players, and you're clearly part of that effort. You say not management. Why rule it out at this point? You might feel differently in the future. Is there no way one day you could be tempted, if asked, to be England manager, for example? It'd be a huge honour, wouldn't it?
Do you know, at the moment, I have no interest in being a coach or being a manager. You know, it's not something that I'm passionate about. It's not something that I've ever thought about. I love coaching kids. People know that I love coaching kids. But being a manager, you know, I have other interests that you know, I want to fulfil before anything else. But then again, when I stop playing football, I still want to be involved in football in a way, in some way. But I don't think it'll be as a manager.
Just one final question before you go. You obviously made a big effort in terms of 2018 while you were out there. Where do we stand with that now? Did we suffer in any way because of England's performance at this World Cup?
No, I don't think anything on the field, you know, makes the bid suffer. I think there's a lot of hard work being done for for a long while now behind the scenes, and I think, you know, a lot of hard work still to be done before December 3rd, before the decision. Fingers crossed. I hope we get it, because I think that, you know, as a nation, we haven't had the World Cup in our country for a number of years, and you know, we would be ready. But I think, you know, what we do want to say is that, you know, if we do get it, we want to prove to people that there will be a legacy left behind us having the World Cup in our country, and if we do get that, then, you know, we want to prove that to the world.
We wish you well, David.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.